Vurb Moto, again, a hugely successful website that really pioneered the use of video when it first came out. A lot of amateur stuff.
We did a lot of videos for you back in the day.
You did, yeah. You guys were doing the Racer X motocross show.
Yep.
And then I did the Bottom Line show.
Yeah.
And, God, I wish I could have all of those.
That was like your rise to fame, dude. We put you on the map.
I don't know if that was my rise to fame. I was sitting in a...
I'm trying to take credit for your success, okay? Just give it to me.
She said how? How can it be that much money? Anyways,
tell her
I'm not getting into this, right. No, so you guys did mostly amateur stuff. That's how you really made your name.
Yeah.
You just focused on the amateur stuff, and it was hugely successful. Like, at some point at Vurb, you're the owner, Andrew Campo.
Yep. Campo, Brent Stallo.
And Brent Stallo.
Chase's brother, and then...
Three of you guys? Or more?
My mom was part of it, and then we had a couple other guys. But
you did?
Brent and I started it back in 2007.
Yep.
And we didn't have any money. So what do you do when you don't have any money?
Ask mom.
Yeah, no. My mom's a CPA, so she always when we started it, she didn't have any piece. But anyways, we had to start siphoning out equity in the company in order to get the things that we needed because we couldn't pay people. But like I'd be like, hey Steve, we need a podcast.
Yeah.
What do you think about taking a quarter of the company, my friend? And you're like,
I believe that got Zuckerberg in trouble at some point.
So it also got me and Brent in trouble. So anyways, like we had a great partnership for quite a few years.
My point of this thing was at some point you guys were crushing it.
Oh, absolutely we were.
Like you're making a lot of money.
When all of us, like the team that we assembled was awesome. But what happened was like 13 and 14 people just got tired of it. Like, you can only live that life, especially like me, Brent and Andrew were probably the only ones that like lived and breathed dirt bikes. The other people didn't really give a shit about them and like, hey, I'm kind of ready to move on with my life kind of thing. But they still wanted the paycheck that came with it. And it was just one of those things like, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore for 3 years, but I'm going to make the same paycheck as you, and you can't use the paycheck that you should have to go hire other people to help you. So long story short, like, life just kind of happened for all of us, and like especially me.
Was it a little bit of down? Like, so when everything was good, no one wanted to cash out, and when it went bad, then they go on to cash out, kinda, or no?
No, when we were rocking, we were all rocking.
Yeah.
We had a great dynamic. We had a web guy. We basically had a Marks. We had a epic designer. We had Andrew crushing sales. Me and Brent on content. Like Brent was more like editorial and like managing everything, and then I did all the video stuff. Yeah. So,
God, you guys were really on the edge of that. You were really on the the cutting edge of those videos.
Yeah.
Like, early on, and I think you guys captured what people wanted to see. Quick cuts, music, really cool stuff.
I still like to think that we're on the cutting edge of the video stuff. Maybe not for ourselves because what we do now, for Red Bull and stuff, is such a high-end product. I can't afford to do that for myself.
But the motocross videos, I feel, are not anywhere near what they used to be. I mean, they're all the same. It's hard to have an original look at it. And what you're doing is storytelling, and but
exactly. We went a totally different route that you inevitably have to go. The problem is like, I would love to go shoot more videos, and I think we will. But a Moto Spy, people want that engaging content that keeps you entertained for 20 minutes. Versus if you go shoot a Barsha Platinum 2.0 and it's 3 minutes, and you spend $25,000 to go shoot this thing and bringing in a whole crew, and then you spend 2.5 weeks editing it, coloring it, making all the sound right, paying for the music. It's gonna get 30,000 views these days. You know, and it's like. Yeah. Is the juice worth the squeeze a lot of times now? So,
what sort of was there infighting at Vurb?
Yeah, original? I mean that's eventually what happened.
Yeah.
Again, it's life, and I don't like looking. I was very sour at the time when it happened. I fucking hated every single one of them. Looking back, I can understand. Like every one of us were at different stages in our lives.
Yep.
I was the youngest, and of course, I loved going to Mini-O's and spending the whole week there and crushing out videos. But now that I'm 35, like, probably not really what I want to do anymore.
Right.
Like, that's for another crop to do.
Yep.
So, looking back, I can really sympathize with where some of my partners were at mentally, physically, all the way around.
Yeah.
Anyways, like, and I was definitely the young, exuberant, like, let's do it. I can't believe you guys are letting this happen, whatever. So, I was probably an asshole. They were all assholes, and all it being assholes to each other just culminated into, like, I was basically like, cool, I'm out. I'll walk away, and then they did their own thing for a little while.
Did you walk away with any money?
No.
No.
So the thing is, I didn't give up my ownership of it because I was hoping at some point in time they were going to call me and be like, you know what, Wes, you're right. You should probably take this thing back over. And that didn't happen at the end. Like basically Vurb ran out of money at the end of whatever it was, 15. And it was like, hey, we need an injection of money. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. Like my Red Bull work or production work all around was really starting to take off. And it's like, I have no partners and I'm actually starting to make good money.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, I'm going to go this route instead of this route. Like, why do I want to keep investing in amateur dirt bike website where 2 full-time jobs essentially? And it's like, this full-time job pays a lot better than this full-time job. So, anyways, we ended up shutting it down, and I think beginning of 17, like just shutting the doors, and like I don't know, we might have like the 5 partners might have walked away with a little bit of money, but it was had we shut it down a year earlier, we probably would have had a pretty good chunk of change in our pockets.
Right. Yeah, video consumption went down, advertising stuff went down, all that kind of
stuff. And it was just poorly managed on the fact that the people running the site at that point in time had free reign of the bank account. And it's like, oh, hey, we should be at Minio's in 3 days. We forgot that we should have planned this 3 months ago, but let's all spend $3,000 on plane tickets.
Yeah.
And, and you're just blowing money like that, instead of adequately planning for stuff. It's not the way to be cost effective. So anyways, they drained, they spent a shitload of money in the course of 9 or 10 months.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I'm like,
So how does it get reformed?
So about a year after, Brent and I were just bullshitting on the phone one day, like, how cool would it be to get Vurb back one day? And dude, it was just a total pipe dream. Nothing came of it. And then like
you and Brent were always okay, or did you and Brent ever?
Me and Brent were always
pretty
solid. When Brent initially left, it was probably sour for a little bit.
Yeah.
But me and Brent, mountain bikes brought us back together, and we did a big BC bike race.
Mostly Chase, angry at Chase, mostly.
Oh, we still hate Chase.
Right,
He sucks, but and then I don't know. That was like in 2018. Me and Brent were like, dude, how cool would it be?
Yeah.
And just started pipe dreaming, dude. Like Tony Robbins freaking manifest shit is what happened. Like 2019, we're like, man, it would be cool. And then like we started just jotting ideas on paper, and like we literally started like, oh, maybe we should just ask them for the name back, and we'll just run it Instagram. Yeah. And then we're like, well, if we did that, maybe we should just do this and then this. And like now we're like it fully transformed into be.
And it was no problem to get the name back from everybody, or how'd that go?
Yeah. So initially we had talked about just doing a derivative of Vurb, like maybe VRB or just some kind of derivative that was close to Vurb.
VERB.
No,
Vurb.
I mean we weren't going to do that, but. Just coming up with some silly play on Vurb Moto that could have worked, and especially just for an Instagram. All we were like, hey, let's post some dope throwback clips. I literally have endless.
Yeah.
I could post 10 clips a day forever.
Right.
And so that's all we want to do is like have it a cool outlet to post cool stuff, right? And then we had asked all our old partners. They're like, yeah, we're cool with that. Like, you guys could do that. We sent over the agreement for them to sign off on this new name, and then they came back with us like, we're not cool with this anymore. We're like, fuck. And they're like, but why don't you guys just buy the original name back? And then we're like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
right.
Like it was just it never.
You're like, what? Oh yeah, we should maybe do that.
Yeah. Right, so it never never crossed mine and Brent's mind that they would be cool with that. But Andrew and Clint and Adam on that side were like, you know what, guys, like Andrew's still very involved in moto, and the other 2 guys aren't. But they're they see the need for what we did and what we brought to the table, especially on the amateur side. That I think Andrew probably relayed that to them, like, hey, our sport really needs Wes and Brent to come back and do.
Yeah.
Well, we may not ever be fully what we were back in 2010, but we'll do what we can with what our budgets allow. And
not really focusing on amateur stuff.
No, I take money. It takes money. Yeah. Like to go to Loretta's for the week, it's $25,000, dude. By the time you maybe not if 2005 numbers when I got to pay everybody $250 a week.
Right.
Sure, we could have gone to Loretta's for $1,000 like we used to, but dude, when you're working with 35-year-old dudes that have kids and mortgage payments, nobody's working for $250 a week anymore.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day,
Mark's is, but don't say that.
Sorry, dude. Hey, man, if you want to pay a raise, just hit me up tomorrow, dude.
He's $250.
So, anyways, I mean, it's a huge expenditure, and that bring in a couple photographers, a handful of video dudes, Will to come in and edit, Brent to come in. Like by the time you add up all their pay plus travel, maybe you're not running a 7 or 8 person crew, but it fucking adds up quick, man. Yeah. So
no, I just run a crew that hates me.
Yeah,
that's my crew. Yeah.
And I mean, they should charge you more for that, but whatever. I mean, who am I to say?
Right. Anonymity. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
So, anyways, yes, we want to go hardcore back in the amateur scene.
So
but
that's the plan if it works out.
Just like Vurb was, dude, we wanted to kind of dabble in everything. I like my success in the pro ranks comes from the relationships I built in the amateur ranks. And so, especially if I want job security long term, I definitely need to know the amateur guys coming up. So if I can go and foster some of those relationships,
just like I do.
Yeah, exactly. I see you at Loretta's, dude.
I take these gates under my wing,
I saw you at World Mini Grand Prix this year, dude.
You're
over there at the Air Force Base early.
Huh? So you're starting small, and there's you and Brent back together.
And our whole goal this time, dude, is we're gonna last time we built as much content as we could and hoping people support it. Now it's the other way around. Whatever you support is what we go do. So whether you're a company or a person buying a T-shirt, if it's $5, we'll go do what we can for $5. If it's $50,000, we'll go do what we can for $50,000.
Yeah. Can you take some of the stuff for Supercross Spy and do edit and outtakes? No, they own all footage. Is that how those things work?
I would say that's probably
okay.
Yeah, probably would be frowned upon. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
It depends. Like it would be cool if they this wasn't an option last year. Like it wasn't on the table. But obviously it'd be cool to use Vurb as a marketing platform for a lot of what we do. But I wouldn't want Moto Spy to be jaded or biased towards Vurb in any way whatsoever, because I want you to promote it or Racer X or whoever to promote it.
You guys don't have a podcast, do you?
No.
Thank God. No. We don't need another moto podcast.
I told you that we were.
We don't need another.
Hey, here's the thing. I do enough shit. The last thing I need to do is a podcast. Yeah. That's why when you asked me to come do this, I was like, yes, it'll be very fun to do one time.
Right. So vurbmoto.com, V2 version 2.
Yeah,
going at it.
It looks very similar to V1.
It does kind of. Yeah, it does.
So we definitely tried to bring back a lot of that just nostalgic feel of the website, and obviously on a very solid budget or low level.
You were just raking in money back in the day.
Dude, it did well, man. Like I won't lie, we definitely had but it was a great team, and like honestly having someone like Mark's just like on your on the fantasy site, man. When you can make something that good,
easy on that.
A good web guy is
hard
to find.
You keep them beat down. That's how you do it.
Hey, Mark's. Hey.